Uh, One of the first things, of course, was when I ran for office here in the state of California was due to the fires that were happening when I first moved to Ventura County back when the Woolsey fire had ignited. And that really opened my eyes up to the corruption. Here, just a kind of background on me is, I was born here. I was raised here. This is where, I enlisted into the military. This is where I proposed to my wife. This is where I'm raising my family. And, even all throughout the military, top two highest scores, highest enlisted, depending on the classes that you go to or the training that you're in. They get to pick their orders, so they would write up their orders on the board, and you get to pick them. And I was always top two, and I always came back to California. California is my home. This is a state that I absolutely love. It's worth the fight. There's a tremendous amount of beautiful people, especially those. A lot of people don't know that my daughter is unfortunately battling leukemia. And just a tremendous amount of people who I don't even know came out and came out of the woodworks to show their love, show their support. They really just came out to, cook us dinner, buy gifts for my other children because they know they were going through it just as much as, their sister. And it really opened my eyes up to, the idea of that, this is a state worth fighting. There's a spirit here that I think a lot of us take for granted or don't realize is actually here. So when the fires happened, one of the interesting things is on my side of the street, we were given a phone call to pack up and to evacuate. But right across the street, there was our neighbors no more than, 20 yards away from us. And they asked us where we were going. And we said, didn't you get the evacuation notice? And they said, no. So we started walking up and down this neighborhood, knocking on everybody's door, at least 2 to 3 blocks, and half on one side got notices from the city or from the county, and the other half did not. And yet we were the same distance away from the fires. So it kind of begged the question, what was going on? The right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing. And so at that time, my representative was stepping down that a lot of people didn't know about at my congressional level. And because everybody wanted answers, what was going on? What was happening with the fires? Nobody knew. And this was my first time being exposed to the extensive amount of fires, so much so that under Gavin Newsom, he has had under his reign over 45,000 wildfires that I personally did the research on. You would think that one would be enough, but I guess 45,000 and over 9 million acres of land being burned up isn't enough. And this is what a lot of people don't know. So I jumped into the race in running for Congress in the 25th district. And that is when I was heavily exposed to the corruption, how the corruption works, how corrupt government works and operates, where they hide and operate, and what it is that they do to deceive the people, and how things tie into even the party system.